Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials?
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessa, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Friday, December 20th, 2024, as we come towards the end of the year. This drone situation's been going on for well over a month, and it's still not slowing down. More sightings in Virginia, more no-fly zones popping up across the eastern seaboard. So you know what, friends? Let's have a good time. Let's all come together, and let me jump into my desk, and there we go. And let's go ahead and see who the heck we have out there in the audience tonight. Let me go ahead and find those drums. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see who the heck we have out there, my friends. All right, let me go ahead and bring up that live participants list. Let me get there. 3 participants. All right, where are we at? Well, if you look at that, we've got AKs here along with Andreen. Or Adreen. There we go. Angry Unsugared Marshmallow Peep is here along with Anton Goes. April R. Coleman along with Azriel is here. B. Smith 66. We got Bear Honey. Becky Abril. Christine Lynn. Corporal Abe is in the chat, and he's in the back. Can't wait to see what he has for us tonight. Cutter 559 is here along with Daniel Gann. We've got Donald Harris, Donna Fitzpatrick. Dude Abides. That's an interesting one. Let's welcome in Eli McGinnis, Eric Roth, and the Gurus. We got F2 Twister. How about that? Then we got Festellan Greyhawk. Shorts for short attention spans. How about that? Fink Floyd's here along with Firefly. We got Frank Einstein, Frank Rappa, Glow Watchers here along with the GP, Gray Hair Discoveries, Gringo Suave's here along with Hotfoot Hits. And you're new. Welcome, my friend. JG is here along with Jay Palm, Jake Romero, James Brown, James Matheson, Jay Cat. Jeremy is here along with Jim, John Mooner. Johnny Forrest is here. Who else do we have out there? We have Johnny UFO, Josh Frick. Got Juliana. Good to see you, Juliana Reverbal. We also have Just a YouTube channel. Cap K along with Kathy. Kelly Broten, those piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, Kelly. Who else do we have out there? We got Kelly Anderson, Kenneth Wenrick. Clippers here along with Chris K. Chris Less is around along with Quattro. We also have Leah Patra, Lee Asbury, Lee McCure. We got Mr. Clicker is here. Lynn 60 along with Madness, IWNL. Malou is around. What happened to Skip? Well, we got Malou here anyway. We got Martime Unprepared, Marcus and the Mandels, Marvin the Martian. We got Mary, Megan, Betts, Michael Dymock. There we go. I got that one. Michelle Gosnell, Modern Office Girl, along with Nancy. Good to see you, Nancy. Neil Carr is here. We got Niambi. Nikki Lilly is here. Good to see you. Ordained Doodle. Oh, you like doodles? How nice. Oh, you got Oregon Squatch, Paul Cabazzola, Paul Johnson, Paul Morrissey, Peter Davila. We also have R.L. Morphs, Rachel Osborne, Raul. Good to see you, Raul. We got Ram Alcantara. How about that? Almost, yeah, close enough. Rebecca Curry is here along with Remos, Richard Menard. We got Rever B. McDonald, Robert De Niro. Not the, but anyway. Thought he left the country. Roland Gibbs is here. We got Roland's Rude Panda, Rough Reddy, Ruth Kleber is here. Good to see you, Ruth. I got Sam Wallace. See you later. Sean Clayton, Space Coast Flies. We got Species 512, Sprightly Sprites, Gemstone, and Crystal Mineral Magic is here. How about that? We got Stephen Forbes, Stephen Hughes. We've got Stephen McStevenson. Like that. You got Strange and Scary New England, Super Unknowns here along with Tamisha Bertrand. Good to see you, Tamisha. We also have Tape Fiend, Tasha, the Chromosome Cowboy, the Mac Geek. Coming near the end, we got Tokyo Sex Whale, Toxic Revenger, Threads here along with True 79, Two Head 666, V's here along with Vern Alexander, Vern Dude, Vito Brada, Wesley Sissons, Y Quest 101, Yergi and Zig Corvetti. Wow, got a great audience going on here, folks. On that note, it's not just about our friends in the chat. Sometimes it's about our friends that we have in the back. And who do we have back there? Where our first friend comes to us all the way from Bristol, United Kingdom. Let's welcome in our dear friend, Andy W. How's it going, Andy?
Hey, Thomas. Boy, what a busy week for you and me both.
Yeah, I've gone back to plaid. I think it's safe now not to wear the lucky blue hoodie at this point. But yeah.
I stay in my dark. Stay in my dark black.
There you go, my friend. I can't have that. I've got white dogs.
Yep.
You know what that's like. Also, thanks for coming in today, Andy.
My pleasure, mate.
Also, in the back, we have another one of our friends, CB USMC. How's it going, CB?
Hey, Thomas. Looking forward to another great show. Thanks for putting this on.
Oh, yes. And, I've got a problem here. Oh, well, everyone can hear me in the back, and I'm on 7.1 stereo. YouTube can complain about it, but you know what? It is what it is. Let's go. Let's all welcome in our friend coming from the city that never sleeps. Let's welcome in Corporal Abe all the way from Bangkok, Thailand. How's it going, Corporal Abe?
Happy holidays. I'm waiting for Santa, and I'm waiting for a disclosure. That's it. That's all I want for Christmas is disclosure.
There you go. You know, it's going to take some time. We're going to have to wait, it sounds like, until after January 20th to move forward on disclosure.
I'll be patient.
Absolutely. Also in the back, we have another one of our longtime viewers, Daryl Zernick. How's it going, Daryl? I should say live long and prosper.
Exactly. Thank you, Thomas. And Retro Plaid is where it's at.
You better believe it, my friend. Also, let's go ahead and welcome in our next friend. Up there, he popped up on his own. Let's welcome in Ed Brown. How's it going, Ed? That recliner looks so much more comfortable than what I'm sitting on.
It is. It's really nice. Well, it's good to see you tonight, Thomas. Looking forward to a great show, just like it's been this whole week long.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Also, another one of our viewers, Kenneth Anderson. How's it going, Ken?
Hi, Thomas. It's great. I'm coming in from Omaha, Nebraska. I guess I never explained that before.
Well, thank you for letting us know. Oh, hey, isn't it the place where they got that Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom?
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. All right. Our next friend is coming in from the upper part of Wisconsin, maybe the middle part, but either way, it's our dear remote viewing targeter friend. Let's welcome in Laura Campbell. How's it going, Laura?
It's going great, Thomas. I heard some good ones today. Dronapalooza and mutually assured disinformation. That was funny.
Mutually assured disinformation. Oh my goodness. Oh, that reminds me. I've got to pick. Well, I need to find it. Let me go ahead and do this. Where is that window at? I'm trying to open up a window and it's not freaking listening to me. Oh, title cards. Oh, yeah, I'll bring one up on that one in a bit. Yeah, good one. Thank you for coming in today, Laura. Always so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
Also coming up, let's see, we've got our next friend, LMC. How's it going, LMC?
Good. Thank you, Thomas. Happy holidays. Looking forward to getting to the bottom of this mystery here.
Yeah.
My Husky Nova says hello as well.
Excellent. Great to see LMC. Also in the back, another one of our friends who was here earlier today, another former military friend, I believe, coming all the way from the United Kingdom, Lord McCormick. How's it going, Mr. McCormick? Maybe not. Let's move.
Sorry, no, I'm here, Thomas. I'm here. Can you hear me?
We got you. Thank you for coming in today, my friend.
Listen, first of all, to you in the community, amazing to be part of it. I chatted to you in the back a few moments ago, and even though it's fast approaching the midnight hour, 3 a.m. In the UK, compelled to stay around. I don't really have anything to add to what what's really gone on in the last 48 hours, because it does seem it's gone a bit flat. Yeah. But anything I can add, I grew up, as I said to you, my father was a United States Air Force stationed at Lakenheath.
Yeah.
I know the area quite well, so anything I can add and throw in, I certainly would do. Respect to you, Thomas,
yeah,
and the whole team. Respect.
Just see, there's a little hand button. When you have something to say, just throw up the hand, and I will go ahead, actually, on the button, and I'll call on you.
Respect, sir.
Thank you, sir. Respect back as well. Also, let's go ahead and take our sights up north to the country where all the U's are silent. Let's welcome in Michael Sukloff. How's it going, Michael?
It's going good, Thomas. It's going to be a good show tonight.
I certainly hope so. Now, if we take the world up and take the world like a snow globe, take the world turned upside down and shake it hard like a snow globe, well, From who's going to pop out of Australia? I could say it's none of your business, but it's actually Susan Ford. How's it going, Susan?
I'm deliriously well.
Great to have you here. Hopefully I didn't shake it too hard. Shaking Susan syndrome. All right. Our next friend comes to us all the way from the East Coast. Let's welcome in our dear friend, Tia Marie. Tia, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Thomas?
Oh, I'm tired. It's been a long 2+ weeks. It's not stopping yet, but we'll keep it going.
It's been amazing, though, I have to tell you.
Thank you very
You did a
much. I
great
appreciate
job.
that. I appreciate that
And
so
I
much.
want to tell you, I think that Mocha should be like the MVP of disclosure.
Well, she does make a lot of appearances here begging
She
for
really does, and everybody loves her. And I sent you that husky that has the Italian
the
accent.
one who talks saying boo. Yeah,
Amazing.
I've got hundreds of those videos saved in my Twitter bookmarks. Good reason to have
Okay, good, because it was amazing. I thought of her
Yes.
and you.
Speak of the boo. Mocha, come here, Mocha. Come on. There you go, good girl. Come on up. Oh, there you go, girl.
She is so beautiful.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing her up. Absolutely. All right. And, well, that concludes our black panel, and that's our show for tonight. No, it's not. We've got another one of our special guests here. Not really a special guest, but Mike, Disclosure. How you doing, my friend?
Not a guest at all. Producer and co-host. Part of the crew. We've been doing this together nonstop the whole time. So yeah, we're part of the workforce. We don't have the luxury of being in the audience.
Right, bye-bye. Oh, I had a drone sighting coming in from Birmingham, United Kingdom. Actually, a drone that was flying around someone's house. So probably not one of ours, but probably a human one.
Probably not.
Oh, yeah, I know. I was just joking around with you and introducing you, Mike. Yes, you're the man in the back. You're the our producer behind the scenes, our ace investigative reporter. You know, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, all the good stuff. The stuff that keeps us going. It's fun. And we have a lot for the audience tonight. There's a lot to talk about, obviously.
Oh, you think? You think?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, I know, Mocha. Whoa, I know. We'll get to you in a minute. Everyone in their good time. Well, top of the list of what we going on here today. Yes, I know we're still talking about drones. We got some UFO stuff to talk about too, friends, because I know a lot of people in our audience have been asking for that. Along those lines, the no-fly zones on the east coast of the United States. We had 22 before, just in New Jersey. And I think if I zoom things out here, you know, I'll kind of show you where we're at on the good old United States map. Let me go ahead and bring this one up here. Let me go. We got a map here of the United States of America going ahead and showing all the major airports and weather reporting stations. But if we go ahead and zoom in on good old New York City, Mike, we've got about 60 new no-fly zones over New York alone.
Yeah, we do. They're calling it a national security area right now.
Now, the most interesting thing of what we've got to realize what's going on here. While these zones are there to protect the public from what's going on, and it's also there to go ahead and lower the number of drone sightings people are seeing, I don't think these no-fly zones are going to have any effect of the drone variety that's the size of an SUV traveling and searching in a grid pattern unless they've moved to someplace else. More than anything, these no-fly zones have been constructed and they've been put out there to keep average citizens from going and putting up their drones. So in other words, you know, they're just taking all these different areas and preventing anybody, including those who got their drones from Walmart or the local gas station, like we've heard John Kirby from the White House say before, where they're all coming from. They're not. This is just yet another disinformation technique coming to us by the United States government. They're trying to make people feel more safe. I think, Mike, that people would feel more safe if they actually just brought out the truth on this stuff and told us what was going on.
which is exactly what the incoming president-elect Donald Trump said publicly the other day that we covered. All they have to do is tell the public. That would be the best course of action.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we agree. That's what they should do. But are they? Probably not.
No, of course not. It's just one of those
Right.
things, go ahead. One of those, sorry, they're having another drinking game today, and every time I say go ahead, everyone has to take 3 shots. So take a shot, so that's 3 shots, audience. There you go.
Yeah, they're going to be blackout drunk by the time we get to the end of the episode tonight.
Oh, they'll be fully lead up.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
On that matter.
But it also seems like the current administration is talking about commuting all the death row inmates' sentences before they leave office.
What?
Which will release them back on the streets as a parting gift from the current administration. So I thought that was interesting.
What?
Yeah. Including the Boston bomber that's on death row. They're going to be released back into the public, into the wild, thanks to the current administration. It's no wonder why they lost the election so badly this year.
Well, it seems like
that.
It seems like they're trying to do as much damage as they can before they head out.
Well, if that's true, and you're right, then that would explain why they have done absolutely nothing about these drones that have been invading our country from coast to coast.
It's almost like they already know why they're going to be there, Mike.
Well, the incoming president-elect stated that they already know. He knows because he gets his presidential daily briefings as well now.
Right, he does.
So he knows that they know, and they're not telling the public.
No, they're not.
No. Why, we don't know what their reasoning is. But it'll come out soon, after January 20th.
Yeah, we got less than a month away, Mike. Less than a month. Today is December 20th, in about a month. Let's just say things should change.
And then we'll know what's really going on. At least we'll get some more information than we're getting now.
Hey, you never know. Maybe we'll get a new UAP czar.
Yeah, maybe. That would be good. Our good friend. Yeah, he would be a prime choice for that.
Oh, absolutely. Is this the one I needed here that has it? Yeah, speaking about that, I was going to get this one video up since we had it here anyway, talking about the drone czar, potentially. We've got a video clip here of Lou Elizondo talking about how the U.S. should have a national drone strategy. I think that sounds like a great idea.
I do, too. Let's play this for the
Here we
audience.
go, folks.
Welcome back, everybody, on your Friday morning. So the FAA says it'll soon implement temporary drone flight bans over parts of New York, and this after it already issued a temporary ban over parts of New Jersey. The agency also warning, get this, deadly force could be used if violated. The Pentagon has sent drone busters to 2 New Jersey military sites to take down unauthorized flyers. There have been thousands of reports of drones spotted all up and down the East Coast, also in other parts of the country, too. Joining me now, I have UAP government whistleblower Lou Elizondo, a former special agent for a U.S. counterintelligence program. Lou, thank you so much for hopping on. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, it's my honor and privilege always. Thank you so much, and to your wonderful audience.
So I think this is the first time our morning audience has heard from you since the congressional hearings when you came forward. So I'm interested on your take. Who do you think is behind the controls of all these drones?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
And I think this administration hasn't done a very good job in being forthcoming with the American people. I think we all know by now to say a blanket statement like all of these drones are either commercial or privately owned drones that are being legally operated or law enforcement aircraft, that just doesn't make sense. People know the difference between a quadcopter and an SUV-sized drone. And in this case, some of these drones, we don't know their points of origin. We don't know where they're landing. We don't know who's operating them. We don't know what they're doing. So I think the state of New York and New Jersey are taking appropriate measures right now to just try to figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah, you bring up car-sized drones. I was going to pick your brain on that one too, Lou. Some people have been reporting them to be the size of, a Prius or a school bus. Is that even possible?
Well, it is, but you're talking at this point a state-sponsored capability, because when you have a drone that size, there's really only two types of fuel you can use. You can use a liquid fuel like jet fuel, JP8, or gasoline, which is about 7.5 pounds a gallon. So you're talking fixed wing. But if you're talking rotary wing, or things with propellers, something that big is huge. I mean, that's car size, right? And so you're talking a battery-powered vehicle. Most battery-powered drones, hobby drones, commercial drones, maybe last 15, 20 minutes. These have been in the sky for 5, 6, maybe 10 hours. Then you've got the other problem with it, which is line of sight. You have in order to communicate with the drone, most drones use radio frequency, and they're only line of sight, maybe up to 9 or 10 miles, where the curvature of the earth then begins to interfere with the signal. So if you want a drone that big that can go that far, you need a repeater capability, meaning you need an airborne asset or a spaceborne platform like a satellite to bounce the signal off and get it to the drone and back and forth. And that's a complicated. That's a lot of infrastructure, right? That's not a hobbyist that's going to be able to afford have half a dozen of these cars. Drones, right? We're talking about something that probably either the United States government has, or some foreign adversary has, or there's potentially other options as well.
What I mentioned off the top, I still find fascinating. The fact that you now have 22 areas of New Jersey where the FAA has implemented this drone flight ban, right? And the fact that they're bringing in these drone busters to use deadly force if any of them are flying illegally or pose an imminent threat. It doesn't really sound like a government that knows that we're safe, right? Or knows what's going on here. Lou, what are your sources telling you?
Well, look, the bottom line is you don't close U.S. military air bases because there's legally flying commercial drones in your airspace. That doesn't make sense. And you don't take out your drone busters, in this case using electronic capabilities to disable other drones, if there's not an issue. Look, there's some video out there where potentially some of these drones that people are seeing, these car-sized drones, have an anti-drone capability themselves. Whereas when a drone gets near it, it zaps it out of the sky, and then, in the words of some of these witnesses, disappears into thin air. So, no, I don't think the administration has a good handle on this situation. I am encouraged that the incoming administration has been much more proactive in trying to get to the bottom of this. And so I'm hopeful in the next maybe 30 days we'll start getting some real resolution to this.
And what do you think those next moves should look like? I mean, what would you be asking for? Because now we've seen all these lawmakers come forward. They held that classified briefing, this week. We've had at least 21 New Jersey mayors, pen a letter to their governor saying, hey, we need a full-on investigation and something to tell our constituents out here. What would you be asking from the government right now?
Well, I think we need to have a national strategy on not just UAP, but drones. Drones a lot of times are confused for UAP initially. And a lot of times when you look at what a UAP is, it's basically something that's unidentified flying in our skies. And everything's a UAP until we identify it. So I think there's an obvious obvious requirement here for us to have a national drone and UAP strategy. I would also recommend that we have a UAP.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to join in.
Interesting. Unfortunately, that cut good old Lou short on here, but I think he's making a really great point, meaning that, having a national drone strategy is something that our United States government is missing, and maybe it's something Lou can help get implemented in the upcoming administration. Your thoughts, Mike?
I certainly hope so, Thomas. It seems like that could be a very strong possibility moving forward. We'll find out soon enough. And if that's the case, then we'll have a direct link into any and all UAP activity going on within the country. That'll be great for us, the audience, and bringing the truth out, truth and transparency. We'll be able to effectively do that better than we're able to under the current administration.
Yeah. Absolutely, Mike. It's just one of those things. We're just going to keep on marching forward on this. We're going to keep on covering this situation. The no-flight zone, that kind of boggled me. Why have they waited a month to go ahead and put that together? It seems like they should, it really feels like an afterthought, just trying to calm down the public more than anything.
That's certainly what it seems like. It's more of, it feels like it's more of it's a press thing that they're trying to do. They're really just trying to calm the public down without really doing anything at all proactively about this. It's making people believe, oh, they're going to shoot them down. Oh, they're taking it seriously. But in reality, they're not stopping it. They're not identifying it. And I don't believe they're going to shoot anything down.
No.
Right. So
heck no, I don't see that happening at all. Because again, we said earlier, Trump said they know where they're coming from, they know where they're going to, they know where they're going back to at the end of the day.
right. So this is more of a press relations type of propaganda they're putting out to the public.
You better believe it, my friend. Now to go ahead and recap some of what's been going on in the past month, we've got Ross Coulthart over at News Nation. Now, Ross has got another broadcast he'll be doing tomorrow night. We'll probably end up covering that one on Saturday. It sounds like he's got a good half an hour plus special report. And special reports are still news reports, my friend, thank God.
Yep,
we can cover that
they
one.
are. And we can.
Did you hear from back from your friend, Mike?
I did not. I'm having technical difficulties since I got the new iPhone.
Call him.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'll keep you posted.
All right, sounds good, my friend. All right, getting to our next story, let's go ahead and bring this next one up. Here we go, friends.
Welcome back here to the Hill on News Nation. The nationwide sightings of mysterious drones continue to baffle folks all over the country. And the Federal Aviation Administration is now stepping up. The agency implementing a drone ban in parts of New York City and Long Island. It comes just hours after a similar ban in New Jersey. Joining us now, News Nation special correspondent and investigative journalist Ross Coulthart. Ross,
really quick, sorry, Don, I forgot to mention this. Commute means the conviction never existed, right, Mike?
Yeah, it means that if they're going to be commuting the sentence, they're going to be removing it and letting these people free.
Yep,
and let them go.
Free with no, and it's not even on the record anymore, is it?
As far as if it's commuted,
yeah.
They would have to expunge it. No,
yeah.
I think it's still on the record.
All right.
But they're gonna let them loose in the public. That's the main concern.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and play this. Thanks for going ahead and sorry about that question, my friend. Here we go.
It's okay.
Thanks for being with us tonight. Appreciate it. Always great to speak with you.
It's a pleasure to be here, Blake.
So we've spoke to a lot of folks this week here on this issue. I wanted to get your reaction to two in particular. I had Leroy Chow, who is an astronaut and has been on the International Space Station. So he has an idea of what's up in our skies. And here's what he told me about an incident that happened to him earlier this year. Watch.
To me, it seems like it's some kind of a military program, our military program. And if it's not that, then it gets a little more scary. It's like, well, is this some kind of a bad actor state probing us and seeing what they can do?
So that was his best guess. He also said he had some orbs flying around him. What do you make of what Leroy Chow told us?
I think it's very interesting because it accords exactly with what I'm hearing from people in the FBI, Homeland Security and Defense on the ground in New Jersey and other parts of the East Coast. We're now not just talking about what you would call conventional drones, Blake. These are objects that in some cases are luminous orbs, golden luminous orbs. And nobody tells me that they are what they think are drones. Increasingly, it looks like the authorities are backing down on what they've previously assured us, that these are legal craft. As recently as 3 days ago, they said categorically that everything in the air were either unmanned or manned craft that were legally flying. And we now know, because of the ban, that's not the case at all.
Fair point. I had Joe Franciscan. Joe was in the Pentagon, senior official there, basically oversaw special ops and counterterrorism during his time there, deputy chief of staff as well. And here he was on the national security threat.
This is absolutely a national security threat, and it's a shame that it's taken so long for the feds to get out in front of this and addressing it head on. It's not inconceivable to think that these drones could be used for more nefarious purposes than the possible surveillance that we're seeing in New Jersey today.
Right. How big of a national security threat do you think this is for the United States, Ross?
Blake, I think this is extraordinarily important. If they don't know what these objects are, and that's what they're admitting, how on earth can they give us any assurance that there's no national security threat or public safety risk? That's the issue. We still don't know what these objects are. Some of them, and you'll see this in our special report this weekend, are 3 to 5 meters wide. They are nation state, in the words of our informant, nation state sized drones. This is serious because the only people capable of putting this kind of technology up are well-resourced nation states.
Ross Coldhart, we're short on time because of the big news here out of Washington, but I will be watching this weekend. Ross Coldhart live with us. Thank you.
There we go, Mike. I think Ross called it out well. It's definitely, like he had said, nation states that could be behind this. Why? Because we have 50-plus drones flying every single night. They're coming in from the ocean where the Navy would be. They're going off, doing their stuff on a daily basis, going off and searching in a grid pattern for something. And then they're returning at the end of the night. And to handle 50 of those craft to come in, to get them prepared, get them launched, programmed for the day, whatever they're doing, launch them out to what they're going to their operation, come back, bring them back, land them, bring them back into the hangar, wherever it is, go ahead and service them, refurbish them, refuel them, repair them if necessary, and get them go out to the next day again. So it's either United States, Russia, or China.
Those are the options, and I don't think it's Russia.
No.
They would have taken over the Ukraine pretty quickly if they had that kind of technology. They obviously do not.
Oh, heck yeah, my friend. Now, I did miss it. We have a couple friends in the back with their hands up. None of your business. Go ahead.
Susan, take the mute button off, my friend.
Sorry, yeah. What a slap in the face at pardoning those prisoners. What a slap in the face for the victims and the families of the victims.
Yeah. Oh, it's an insult. Yeah, adding insult to injury.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Susan. Lord McCormick, you have your hand up. What's your question, my friend?
Hi, guys. Yeah, can you hear me?
We got you.
Yeah, sweet. So just quickly, a couple of points. First of all, Andy W. Hey, brother. Yeah, my boys are both Bristolians. I bumped out the city. I'm in Wiltshire, bro, so I'm just up the road. But yeah, stay in touch, man, and keep your eyes on the skies, bro. It's good to have you here. Also, I've got your drone map on my big screen here. I mean, when you look at the drone map that they've authorized or they've produced, I mean, it's a conceptual nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they going to enforce this?
Well, technically, a lot of the drone applications do communicate with systems from the FAA and other areas. So if you have a drone and you try to go ahead and launch it potentially in one of these areas, it'll prevent your drone from popping up, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what they have.
There's quite a lot of footage, actually, of people that are popping out drones over fences just simply to demonstrate that is a fact, that there are systems where, 30 seconds over the fence and your drone drops. But that doesn't seem to be in effect here. And also, I mean, just look at the map. It's laughable. Third, the ISS, they haven't commented on that. Why did they shut off that camera?
Yeah.
That's a fact. They turned the camera tracked in.
Did we show that last night? I think we did. If not, I'll bring it up.
You guys have, and lots of channels have. Sorry, bro, to cut you in. You've mentioned it. I put it out. Lots of channels have picked it up, but the media, the camera was pointing out into space. It wasn't pointing towards Earth.
No, I think it was actually pointing towards Earth, but either way, that's what they saw, because I did see some people that did an analysis based on the settings from, or the telemetrics, or what you would call it. Basically, the statistics coming back from the space station, and it showed the orientation of the planet and where they were looking. Either way, it's looking down at Earth. It wasn't looking at the moon. So still what they were seeing, they had that orb, it came in, they moved their camera towards it, they zoomed in on it, and then after a short period of time being on the camera, they cut the feed.
They just cut the feed and then put up that BS screenshot.
Yeah, well, NASA does stand for never a straight answer, but you know what? We're about to get a new sheriff in town at NASA as well, because former Senator Bill Nelson, who's been the administrator of NASA during the Biden administration, is about to be shown the door. So hopefully we'll have someone who will turn around the agency and get rid of these losses, get rid of these overages that go on a regular basis, and run it like a real organization.
Well, let's hope so. But I would also say that on that, I'd like what's this fella's name that you had? What was that guy? Leroy Chow. You had a
that was
post
yesterday,
up,
right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Leroy Chow. You showed a video of him with his explanation of what it possibly could be. Leroy Chow could really do better to talk on some of sort of like the released NASA footage. I don't keep harping on about NASA, but they're a big part of this.
Yeah, they've been a part of the cover-up since the start of it, my friend. I would agree
the
with you on that
STS
one.
footage, the tether incident. Do you remember that, guys?
Oh yeah, from the space shuttle. STS was it 121 or something like that?
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Of course.
Listen, thanks for your time. I'll stay in the thing. I've just wrote some points down. You're the tip of the sword. Keep going, brother.
Thank you. We will keep this thing going, and if we'll go ahead, and that reminds me, if you haven't subscribed yet, what the heck you waiting for? And if you have subscribed, do us or if you haven't or haven't subscribed, do us a favor, friends. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down below, and it's always great to read your comments. We're gonna have to start having a comments segment where we read the comments. Ed, you have your hand up, my friend.
I think my head's starting to swell from all the things we've been talking about. Well, you still got the map up there, Thomas. I would comment. From a pilot's perspective, I don't know how high those no-fly zones are, but it makes
it 400 feet.
Well, it makes it very difficult to transition from one side of those lines to the other side if you're going airport to airport. So
yeah,
it creates more, probably more confusion than it does.
If I go ahead, oh gosh, let's see if I can bring this one up here. This one starts on December 20th, 2024, and it ends. Would you look at that? It ends on July 19th, 2025.
Interesting.
The day right before the new administration comes in.
Yeah. Were they all 400 feet?
Well, I know if it's for drones, and that's what this is about. This is about no UAS operations are authorized. It says in here that basically means UAS are limited to a ceiling height of 400 feet. So this isn't a no-fly zone for planes or such. This is just a no-fly zone for drones.
Well, earlier Mike said something about, it's probably for PR purposes they put those up there. I'm not sure how much good that's going to do. And quite frankly, I think what it's doing is just throwing jello at the wall and seeing if something will stick and seeing if the news agencies pick it up as, well, the government's doing something about this.
Yeah.
But here's the point. You haven't brought up your blue ball yet today. Here's a point that I would make. I'll let you tell the story if you want. But we know that we have the technology of looking at objects that are very, very, very small.
Small, about this size, maybe a little bit smaller, about the size of a grapefruit. And we can get this from our lowest point that our radar can, and our radar can pick up things over the water, at the surface of the water, maybe a little bit high over land because we have all the different trees and buildings and everything that goes on. But we can track that from that low surface, this size, out to beyond.
You did orbit of the moon. So if we take that analogy and put it down to the SUV size refrigerators and things like that, why is it that they lose track of these when they're going back out to sea? It's what it doesn't make any sense at all. They should be able to track those all the way back to their origin and find out.
According to President Trump-elect, or former President Trump, on President-elect 47, I would have to say he says they know where they're coming from, where they're going to, and where they're going back to at the end of the day. So it's one of those things. We've got the current administration that's been working in overtime to cover up the UAP situation, doing the same thing with the drone situation. There's something bad going on. They just don't want us to know. They're afraid to start panic. But a lot of people have said, we deserve to know. Do you think we deserve to know, Ed?
They're going to keep doing that until about the 19th of January. And then they'll say, it's out of our hands now. Let somebody else handle it.
Exactly.
Here's some between now and the 19th of January.
Hopefully. We'll see where it goes. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. All right, let me go ahead and get back into here. I thought I had another video. Yeah, I do have another video I'm going to bring up. Corporal Abe, you with me, my friend? Abe, are you there? I think you are. He's maybe muted at this point.
Yeah, I'm here, bud.
Okay, so what we have here is someone who supposedly is an Army serviceman. You said he is an E3 or so, my friend?
He's an E4. He's an E4. He's got a special stripe on his hat, on his chest.
Flip your headset around, maybe.
Oh, shit. Good check.
Maybe better. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah, he's an E4. He's got specialist rank on his hat and on his chest patch there.
All right. So this is an Army serviceman who says they are launching the drones in New Jersey and everywhere. Well, you know, he's probably having or had a really good talk with his CO, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely his chain of command, his immediate chain is pissed off right now because of this video, and he's not authorized to do this. It's supposed to come from like a high up senior chain of command or the executive office, not just one of the lowest ranks E4 specialists.
Now, one of the things I want to bring up is as we're talking about this before we play the video, you can see he's got his name tag. He also has it where it says U.S. Army. Where it says U.S. Army, it's on Velcro, but you say that sometimes it's there because sometimes they'll rip it off for a reason.
Yeah, we'll take the patches off for maybe he's got a specific mission. Maybe he's going to use the uniform to do some type of hazmat or cleaning another one. Or there's many reasons. You take the patch off because you don't have as many patches as you do uniforms too. So you want to use your patches on the other uniforms for the next step. There's many reasons why we take the patches off.
All right. Be careful, Mr. Catfish 2100. On that note, let's go ahead and play this, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Here we go, folks.
Yeah, I will be speaking about the drones. All right, as you know, I'm in the Army, the military, whatever you gonna call it. Look, we are launching the drones up in the sky as of right now in New Jersey and stuff, in Texas, everywhere. Like, y'all don't gotta be afraid. Them are man-made drones, and we're doing the launching or whatever. Now, what you do have to be concerned of, my bad, my eye, but it's the orbs that's inside the sky that y'all see that's glowing and stuff, that's shooting down the drones and all that. That's not a part of us. Them are actually real life aliens. Like, aliens do exist.
Hold on a second. Orbs shooting down drones? I don't think we've seen that, have we?
Nah, this is new information.
Yeah, I know there was something where there was a test system going on where there was some new energy weapon systems that they showed about a week and a half ago, shooting some things down, but that wasn't drones getting shot down. Here we go.
They're above and they're below us. Yes, they do exist. And 2025 there will be a lot more of exposing the truth. I can't say the reason why, but because it's already out here, so I can speak on this. Aliens are real, and we will have to evacuate sooner than later. But just be careful. Keep looking up in the sky at night. They only come at night. They will only come at night. I don't know the reason. I just know it's been investigated. Aliens are real, and we're trying to figure out why they're here visiting us right now. It's a lot going on within the United States. It's a lot of everything, but they're real. Be careful. Watch out.
Interesting. So orbs are real. We know that one. Actually, is he going to continue on here?
Look, I don't know what to tell you or like where to go, but look, you just gotta you gotta be prepared. Like, I don't know, because right now it's only like really calculating like the United States though. Like, probably go to an island or some shit. Look, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I don't know where you gonna go. I don't know if you gonna survive. But hey, it is what it is. It's 2024. It's the end times. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Shit. We all gonna. You feel me? I can't say the word, but you feel me? We all gonna. You feel me? It is what it is, man. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, let me stop cussing on him. It's serious, man. Like, this, like, situation very serious, and like, I try not to think on it, and I really didn't even want to speak about it. But we all should just pray and keep praying to God or whoever you believe in, and just have faith. That's all I can say.
Now, interesting, based on his rank, Corporal Abe, he's not the kind of person who would be really read into this kind of a situation, is he?
No, he's not. He's in a lot of trouble right now, that's for sure. He went pretty far with his claims and accusations, and he's got nothing to back it up. He's sitting in his car and he's doing this. I get it. Maybe he's afraid, or maybe I don't know what his motivation behind this was, but I can guarantee for one thing, his corporal, whoever that corporal is really pissed off right now. And he's getting it from everybody above that corporal. He is, oh my God, shit rolls downhill. And I guarantee you his entire chain of command is watching that video right now. He's getting
Oh gosh, yes, my friend. No, I've got a video here. There it is. I want to bring this next one up. Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Hopefully that comes clear. Maybe he won't be making a traction, but either way, someone's saying in the back it could be or in the audience, a thrift store uniform. But if he were to do that and he were to be wearing that with that hat,
that's stolen valor. Then
that's stolen valor, and don't you go to jail for that?
Yeah, it's a crime now. Yeah, it didn't used to be, but today it's a crime. You put that on and you put it on the internet and you made these crazy claims, and if they catch you, I mean, I felt like we kind of see a little bit of his last name, and I'd really like to know who this guy is and hear something from his chain of command.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, talk about a bucket of cold water, as they are in the chat. You may need one after watching this one. We've got, it was brought up in the chat if we saw this, and you're going to get it now. Everyone's going to get it, so it's your fault, whoever said that earlier. Who said that? Let me go ahead and see if I can find it real quick. Who asked? Nope. There's been a lot of talk about that. Nope. Did you guys see a fly on the wall with the cavalry? That's not it. Where's the one? You need to hear what Dr. Stephen Greer has to say about the drones. It's very interesting. Anton Ghost, thank you very much for asking for us to go ahead and cover this. So this one's for you, my friend. Let me go ahead and take this one down, and let me bring up this video. Here we go, folks. Yeah, we usually don't cover good old DC Muscle Wolf, but, he's in the news, so let's see what... And usually he's not in the news. Usually he's over with his friends over third phase of the moon, so let's get to this. Here we go.
Joining us now is the founder of the Disclosure Project, Dr. Stephen Greer. Dr. Greer, it is great to have you on. A pleasure to be speaking with you right now.
Thank you.
What is going on out there? What are people seeing?
Well, it's a complex story. To make it very succinct, we did predict this 30 years ago, that they would begin to launch some activity.
Yes, and when you did project it, before we get there, I have to cut in at this one little point here, friends. He said it was going to be Operation Bluebeam, where there was going to be a false flag event happening, but they were going to be projecting holograms in the sky of an alien invasion. That's what he predicted in the past. So keep that in mind as we hear more. Here we go, folks.
Equivalent to a false flag, to make it look like there's some sort of alien attack or threat. In reality, it's a response to what's happening. And I've recently told the incoming members of the administration this, and people at the Senate Intelligence and Armed Services Committee, that we have a team of about 6 different black sites.
Of which there is absolutely no record of any of those communications happening anywhere, Steve.
That have been running illegal projects related to so-called UAPs and UFOs coming forward in the next 30 days or so. They will bring forth dispositive evidence of this and the fact that these programs have been run illegally and outside of constitutional oversight. This is a ramp up to divert attention from that activity and could lead to some other events that would be catastrophic. This is a very dangerous situation. Nothing people are seeing has anything to do with aliens or extraterrestrial intelligence. It has to do with trying to maintain the cover-up on a secret program that went black, but illegal black, back in the late 1950s. So we're into 65, 70 years of some very dangerous operations. Now, these men that are defecting are coming out of some sites I've been at. I was in a helicopter last year, which after that I was almost killed, frankly. And we were over these black sites and saw the openings that go into underground facilities where there are the man-made UFOs that come out, but also where they have illegal electromagnetic pulse weapon.
Wait a minute. They tried to kill Dr. Stephen Greer as he flew over?
You don't remember that story?
A dark site? No,
do.
Mike, if it was a dark site and they didn't want people to go ahead and see what's going on, don't you think they'd have a no-fly zone over it?
They would, but the claim that he made when this first occurred is he was in a helicopter flying over in a certain area, and bullets came through the floor of the helicopter and almost hit him in the ass. That's what he's talking about when he said he almost died.
I think there's other things he needs to worry about going there, not a bullet.
But at the time, yes, exactly. Bullets almost hit him in the ass, and that was the account that he was just talking about right now.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's continue on.
Where they target and down the extraterrestrial vehicles that are then reverse engineered.
Okay, let me stop you. Let me stop you right there, Dr. Greer. Let me stop just because I want everyone at home I want us all to be on the same page. You're saying that we have the technology to shoot ET craft, not of this planet, out of the air, and we are reverse engineering those aircraft.
100%, and there are multiple men coming forward. They've been with JSOC and Special Forces, who are also NOCs, an unofficial cover in corporate world. One of them's been there about 29 years and is very senior and has all the evidence, and they'll be releasing the evidence and the information. Now, this creates a dynamic because it's happening before the inauguration. They plan to do it sometime between now and early January. And I've been working with these men for about 19 months, and they're serious, and they have the goods. They can prove what they're stating, but they're also going to unmask themselves. They will come forward, the name, rank, serial number, and the whole history of this, including the illegal nature of some of these programs, which we don't have time to go into, but they'll curl your toes. Some of the stuff that's been going on is quite illegal and very dangerous and horrible. But the technologies, I mean, remember the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty requires that we have no electromagnetic
Could you give me, Dr. Greer, could you give us a quick summary? I'd like to hear some of the toe curling details, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, for example, they have been able to confirm one of our whistleblowers' testimony, who's a Marine, Michael Herrera, who was present at an event, stumbled across an event during a rescue mission after the Indonesian earthquake in 2009. And he came across a platform, a man-made object about 300 feet around that was manned by covert human operators who were American. And they had boxed up and crated up humans that they were trafficking that had oxygen tanks on this tank. And they were being moved to a black site for various types of human experimentation and use. It's horrific, some of the actions. The main operator from two of these black sites that I've been at, I will not discuss where they are right now.
Okay.
It'll be disclosed fairly soon. He actually had personal knowledge of that. So when this whistleblower came forward, who was taken to the Pentagon Aero Office and Senate Intelligence Committee, he approached me and confirmed all of it. And so he said, not only that, but it's way worse than that. So there are some really worrisome programs going on without the oversight of the president or the Congress, and that has to get corrected because it's dangerous. Now, all these drones and everything going on is both a diversion, but an attempt to create a psychological warfare,
a psyop to distract us.
And that's really what it is, but it could escalate to something very dangerous. I mean, yesterday I was told that I personally might be arrested, that there will be a character assassination plot against me that will come out soon.
Yeah.
Joining us now is the
Oh, shit, hold on.
Black sites that I've been at. I can't forward, who was taken to the Pentagon Aero Office and Senate Intelligence Committee. He approached me and confirmed all of it. And so he said, not only that, but it's way worse than that. So there are some really worrisome programs going on without the oversight of the president or the Congress, and that has to get corrected because it's dangerous. Now, all these drones and everything going on is both a diversion, but an attempt to create a psychological warfare,
a psyop to distract us.
And that's really what it is, but it could escalate to something very dangerous. I mean, yesterday I was told that I personally might be arrested, that there will be a character assassination plot again.
I think the only character assassination is based on the stuff that Greer got himself in trouble on Manhunt with a long time ago. Just search the word DC Muscle Wolf. One word.
It's me that will come out soon.
So actually, that is the end of that. Sorry for putting you through that, friends, but there has been a request. We want to hear more UFO news, Mike, so we're covering it.
But wait, we have some more breaking news on Dr. Greer, do we not, Thomas?
Oh, which
there
one
is a news. There is
the news story. The news story. Where is that? Oh God, it's got to be here somewhere. Universe created by. Here, happy holidays. Oh yeah, here we go. In breaking news, we have a new news alert coming to us from ABC News.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening and welcome. What you're about to hear may disturb you. Beloved alien celebrity Bijou the extraterrestrial was found dead on the outskirts of Wyoming. Reports from eyewitnesses who had spotted two men making a hasty escape from the lifeless Bijou. Currently, the Space Force is conducting an investigation, and a pivotal piece of evidence has emerged, potentially indicating that this could be a case of homicide. We've obtained a leaked audio recording from a nearby trail camera.
You think you know pain? Please don't hurt me, please. Remember what you did to me? No!
Thank you for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
Well, Mike, you asked for it. We have that around here for just such an emergency.
Exactly. If we're going to cover Greer, we have to cover all of it.
Yeah. Putting our sight off of UFOs for a little break on this one, back to a little bit more reality. Well, not the UFOs aren't real, but Greer stuff, I hate to say.
You got to take it with a truckload of salt.
No, I'd say a tanker full of salt. Like
exactly.
Not a tanker, a container ship full of salt. Yeah, there we go.
That's it. The ones that are sneaking these drones in.
Yeah. Talking about go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say a big cargo ship, container ship.
Exactly. That's a lot of freaking, that's a lot of salt, my friend, on that note. Getting back to talking about drones, mysterious drones have now been flooding the Virginia skies. State police have reacted over to 150 drone sightings just yesterday, it sounds like. So could be that the reason that they're having the no-fly zone up over New Jersey and New York is because whatever the government drones are looking for has moved potentially south to Virginia. Isn't that interesting, Laura? Virginia, go figure.
Yes, we took another swing at that one, and I kept getting the same answer back. I'll talk about it later.
Sure, absolutely. Let's go ahead and get to this next video clip up. Here we go, friends. Okay, let's play it.
Move over New Jersey, Virginia, getting hundreds of reports of mysterious drone sightings across the Commonwealth. This comes after the FAA announced today drones are being temporarily banned in parts of New Jersey where these sightings first started. Raven Brown joining us live from VSB headquarters with the latest. Raven.
Well, Kurt, Virginia State Police tell me they have received more than 150 tips about drone sightings here in the Commonwealth this month. Now, they wouldn't go into details on if this is a concern or not, but they are asking for your help as they continue to investigate.
Since the start of December, we've received more than 150 tips regarding drone activity in the Commonwealth. We're investigating each of those.
Virginia State Police say they continue to investigate drone sightings across the Commonwealth. The tips are being investigated by the Virginia Fusion Center, which is a part of the Virginia State Police Homeland Security Division. Why is this a big situation?
Well, what we want the public to do, we want the public to tell us what they're seeing, especially suspicious activity. That's what we want to hear from them.
And it comes after several drone sightings started popping up all over New Jersey, causing some concern from state leaders as well as community members. The Department of Defense issuing a statement saying they have not found any national security or public safety risk over the civilian airspace in New Jersey or other states in the Northeast. Earlier this week, Governor Glenn Youngkin said he was deeply concerned.
We are working at the state level in collaboration with local FBI, local DOD folks, our state police, and local law enforcement in order to gather information because there is clearly something going on.
State police now urging you to report if you see a drone flying over important buildings like energy installations or military sites. Community members I spoke to who wanted to remain anonymous say they also want more transparency.
I believe that people are seeing them. I have no disbelief in the community's reaction to it. And I also believe that our government knows what they are. And so my question is, why aren't we being told what they are?
The state police also warning it is against the law to shoot at a drone. Again, they're encouraging you to reach out to the Virginia Infusion Center or state police if you do see any suspicious activity regarding drones. For now, live at Virginia State Police headquarters, Raven Brown 12 on your side.
Thank you, Raven.
Interesting enough, Mike. Before we get to it, actually, Andy, you have your hand up, my friend?
Yes, so they've had reports of these drones in Virginia now. So how many actual states is it? I know Ohio's supposed to.
I think it's like 7 or 8 states now on the eastern seaboard that have actually gone ahead and called out that they've been dealing with drones, Andy.
So, yeah, so Ohio, I do apologize, anybody living there. I've just murdered your state name. Yeah, that's, to me, quite a long way inland. Are these things mainly moving sort of from north to south, or are they actually branching, east to west? Just find it interesting, is it going down the seaboard side, or is it actually going inland more?
Yeah, I can't answer that one, Andy. I think, well, it seems like it was going out west, and now some, as far as right along the state, remember it was New Jersey, then it branched out to go ahead and be in New York, and then we had stuff going in Pennsylvania. It's been seen in Massachusetts. We've had them in Connecticut. We've had them in Maryland. Now we're seeing it farther down south in the Virginia area.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, I need a reminder on this one. I don't remember. Did we play this video yet?
Which one?
This one I'm showing right now. I don't think we played this one yet, did we? No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
All right, let's go ahead and bring up this next video for us. This next one says, will the FAA's drone ban in parts of New Jersey make a difference? I don't think it will, because it's not humans, it's not the public's drones, but let's see what they have to say anyway.
The FAA issuing temporary drone flight bans now over parts of New York, and more areas could also join this list. The FAA has already issued a temporary ban in New Jersey. The agency is warning deadly force could be used if violated. The Pentagon has sent drone busters to 2 New Jersey military sites to take down unauthorized flyers. There have been thousands of reports of these drones spotted along the East Coast and in other parts of the country. Many have seen them in New York, and in recent radio interview, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg said, I mean no disrespect to New Jersey when I say I think it's very unlikely that an alien invasion would begin in New Jersey. The mayor of Hamilton Township, New Jersey, Jeff Martin, is with us now. He's making light of a situation that for a lot of people, I know you included, has become very serious. What do you make at this point of where we're at in the government's response?
Well, good morning, and thanks for having me this morning. First, I would say, what better place for the aliens to go than to New Jersey? But no, it's certainly serious. And what's frustrating for me and so many mayors, especially with the new FAA rules, is the poor communication or lack of communication surrounding all these drone sightings and this continual process over the last several weeks and getting to the point we're at today.
So tell me about the extent of this ban, and are you confident it will make a difference?
Sure. So first, again, on the communication, we found out through the press rather than through the FAA or some other official channel about the FAA ban of drones in Hamilton, New Jersey, and had to go on the FAA website to find it out. But from just a practical matter, it's not for anything for us to enforce. So if our police officers, if our sheriff's officers see a drone in Hamilton in the sky, they're still under orders not to shoot at it, not to use any sort of deadly force to get it down. And we're not even aware of who to call other than the FBI should we get reports of a drone in town.
Have you seen these with your own eyes?
So I've seen something flying in the air over town. We have a nearby airport, so I don't know, drone, plane, what have you, but I started to look up more over the last 2 weeks than I would have otherwise, certainly.
Have the frequency of the sightings slowed or diminished since all of this attention? What have you heard with the reporting?
Absolutely. So I'd say over the weekend, from last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, specifically in Hamilton, we had a large number of calls into our police dispatch. We had text messages that I received from residents. Over the last several days, maybe it's weather, maybe it's just a slowing, but we haven't really gotten nearly as many as we did as the peak over this past weekend.
So what message, Mayor, are you giving to your community about what to do, what to expect here moving forward?
So we put out a public service announcement yesterday letting everybody in town know that there are no drones permitted recreationally in town through January 17th of next year. We hope to get voluntary compliance with that. But outside of just the public statements, there's nothing else to do in terms of an enforcement end. We also continue to let them know if they do see anything suspicious in the air, don't shoot at it, don't point lasers at it, just call it into the FBI number to get it reported so it can be looked at by the proper authorities.
I hear you when you say you've been frustrated with the lack of communication. How about the government's response in general? Do you feel as though they're being forthcoming, or are they hiding something?
So I don't know. I don't know what I don't know, right? I know there's been briefings. We've had briefings through state police here in New Jersey. We've had briefings with the White House and their staff through Zoom, and a lot of we don't know. I don't think you need briefings to tell us we don't know. So I don't want to accuse anybody of withholding anything because I certainly believe them when they say we don't know. But I think that continual message of we don't know rather than a lot of speculation or dismissiveness, aliens or not, would go a long way.
Yeah, I agree. I think if aliens are checking things out, New Jersey is certainly a great place to stop. I don't think that's our issue here, but I appreciate your time as we get into the holidays. Jeff Martin, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great holiday.
You too as well. Thank you.
There we go. How about that? Andy W., you have your hand up, my friend, I think? Or did you put it down? Or did I call on you?
I put it down, mate.
Oh, okay. Easy enough. Mike, your thoughts on this one? Yeah. Are the drone bans going to make a difference in what's going on in New York? I don't think so. If you look at what we've been dealing with, what we've been seeing happening, it's not consumer drones that we're concerned about. It's those ones that are the size of an SUV, like something from a nation state. Kron, you have your hand up, my friend.
Yes, it kind of feels like the drone ban is setting a stage, right? So you're stopping, regular operators, and now you're saying, okay, anything flying in the skies, we're going to highlight you. I think it's to make people feel comfortable, but also setting a stage for escalation. What do you think, Thomas?
What do I think? Well, I think it's definitely there to act as a bit of comfort, to placate the public, as you kind of said. I've got a video I'll be bringing up shortly from the governor of New Jersey saying there's nothing to fear based on the drones we're seeing in the sky. But I've never thought the drones were something to be afraid of potentially, unless it was coming from another nation state. But if it's coming from the United States, I think what the American people in Kron are more concerned about is, what are they looking for? What are they doing up there? Why are they here now? Those are the questions that has made everybody feel unsafe. How do you feel about that?
I would agree. I would agree. The more that these drones are unique and they show unique properties, that's going to get people scared or amped up more. I do have to ask you, I don't know if you played, I'm late to the show, but did you see Judge Napolitano's statement about the drone that he saw?
Yeah, I haven't played that one yet, and I know I've got a bookmark and I've probably downloaded it, but I've got so many videos that I've downloaded. Let me go ahead and bring that one up. Since you're, no, not that one, not that one, not that one. There he is. There's Judge Napolitano, and my system's going to say, you want to download that again? And I'm going to say, please download. And you know what? Let's go ahead and play this clip, and then we'll continue our conversation. This is just a short clip here. I think I've got a clip of about 1:17. So let's watch this together, Kron, and feel free to interrupt as we're watching this. Here we go. Let me go ahead and play this, and then I know I have a couple more people have their hands up. But Kron, let's go ahead and watch this together, and let's see what it has to say here. Here we go.
I had an experience in New Jersey where I saw this thing last Friday night. So it's about the size of this table, a small pickup truck or an SUV. It had 4 arms, and there were lights under each arm. I looked at it. It stopped. Gone. Now, I say gone. I don't know if they turned the lights out and I couldn't see it or if it actually moved. I know that 1 second I saw it and the next second I didn't.
But you can
that's
rule
when
out...
That's when I called the state police.
Yes, and then they went after it.
Well, I don't know if they went after the same one because who knows? They sent a helicopter which came very close to one, and then it disappeared. And I said to them, can you shoot it down? They're not allowed to because the airspace is federal jurisdiction. They can only use their sidearms to protect themselves if somebody's attacking them up there.
But you're ruling out what you saw as not a small plane or an amateur drone.
No, it was not a small plane. It was not something you can buy on Amazon. It was massive and sophisticated. Sophisticated enough so that when it or whoever sent it recognized the state police helicopter, same thing over the East River here, the NYPD helicopter, it was gone.
There we go. Interesting. So, Kron, yes. Would you say that this aligns with the other reports we've heard from people who have seen these and it's there for 1 second and it's gone the next because it turns its lights off because its game is up?
Yes, I would definitely say this falls in the anomalous category.
Yeah.
Now, we have multiple categories. We have hobbyist drones, we have police, and then we have the anomalous drones. I would say what he saw, he said he saw 4 lights, 4 arms. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
4 arms. But yes, I would agree, Thomas. I believe this is, and he's a good character witness. This is not a person I'd consider to be a liar or someone who doesn't know what they saw.
Absolutely. Thank you for poking me to go ahead and bring up this video. It was on my list, and we got through it. I appreciate that. Now we have 2 more people in the back with their hand up, Brian, and then Hollywood and Andy. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with Kron's assessment as well. But, that could be a quadcopter. But I think these things are interspersed, and we're creating some confusion here. And I think we're purposely doing that. If we listen to the Ryan Graves interview on Joe Rogan, he said, yeah, these things, and Corporal Lake could probably back me up on this. These things show up at the same time every year, every time. They're always here for a month and then they go away. And they're here for a month next year and then they go away. So I wonder if this year, for some reason, we're combating them a bit or trying to create some confusion to prevent people, with iPhones and Samsung phones and everything else from recording them. So that's kind of starting to be my guess too. I'm not ruling out the moving of nuclear materials, but according to Ryan Graves, they come.
I'm offline. My
in the slowing down stage.
No, we lost we lost you for a second there, Brian, and my data connection got interrupted. I'm back. Rewind about 15 seconds.
Yeah, no, just to say that according to Ryan Graves, that these things come here every year at around this time.
Yeah. But if it's Ryan Graves, those are the ones that the military was seeing out over the eastern seaboard, the ones where they said, oh, my God, there's a whole fleet of them.
Correct.
Which is a bit different than what we're seeing. Yeah, which is a bit different. We just have to say there's things that act and look and behave like UAP. And then we've got the stuff over the East Coast that looks and acts and behaves like an advanced military drone. That's far beyond 100%. Off-the-shelf technology.
And I just want to tell the audience here that my military drone contacts have gone absolutely silent and won't say a word to me. Whereas usually I could get a nugget or something else. Mm-hmm. And these are not low-level people. So I think there's a little bit of a, we're inserting some intentional confusion here. And I think that's what everybody's starting to realize.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate your insight. That's what I need to go to. All right. Next person with their hands up, Hollywood Herald. Go ahead, my friend.
Evening, Thomas. Evening, crew. Hey, Corporal A mentioned last night in the cantina, we were watching that live, and I was recording it when they were shutting down the East Coast there. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because we had the president coming back from Delaware, flying in unexpectedly on Marine Force One. We also had Kamala Harris coming back from California. Now, I believe what we understand is they were coming back to go ahead and be able to keep the government open. because it is still the Biden administration. They are still in control, and coming out of with the continuing resolution failing to keep our government open because there's so much pork in it. Someone had to come back, and Kamala came back because if she had to go ahead and cast a deciding vote in the Senate to keep it going, she was going to do that. But Joe actually has to bring out the pen, and hopefully he still remembers how to sign his name.
Oh, you could use a rubber stamp, Thomas.
Oh, that's true. Oh, but whenever they sign stuff like that, they like to come out with pens and sign it, and then they go ahead and give them away to friends.
Corporal Abe noticed that there was some air traffic, but they were all international flights.
Things that could not be delayed or either way, yeah. Interesting.
All right, thanks, Thomas.
Thank you, Harold, for bringing that up. Andy W., you've got your hand up again.
Yeah. Going back to the video footage that Crom brought up, for you to show, the comment about, it had 4 arms. It could be a quad drone. But what really gets me is, you hear multiple reports of people saying, I looked at it and it went black. It went dark or it went, how would these drones have the sensory capabilities to know when you were looking at these things? That's something that strikes me as really interesting.
Cameras, my friend.
How many, are these things covered in cameras?
Well, no, they potentially have a camera that can move around and stuff. And either way, you never put anything out of it. We just don't understand the performance characteristics of these drones, and that's the problem. We don't know what technologies they have, what capabilities they have, where the data is coming from, where it's being sent to. Even Lou Elizondo said they could be bouncing this data off a satellite to some other remote location for controlling it and or doing additional observing.
Yeah, I'm still going to keep that thought in my head though about these things switching off or whatever have you.
Absolutely, thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. Joseph Nuzzo, you have your hand up, my friend.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I got in a little bit late, but with what you were just saying, Andy, it's actually pretty simple. When you have your smartphone and you're pointing at the sky and you hit the focus button, your phone actually puts off an infrared light spectrum to set the focus. So it wouldn't be that hard for them to avoid something as long as they were able to scan the infrared. But I believe it's totally multiple things going on, advanced technology, but with the things that are going on over land masses, I believe those are something man-made, big multi-rotor drones. But yeah, how are you feeling about it, Thomas?
Well, I've been kind of clear on this. We clearly, what are all of the different possibilities of what we could be seeing? One is we have drones. We have the drones that are coming in because they're, it could be from a foreign actor like China, like Russia. It could also be the United States bringing these drones in to look for some kind of weapons of mass destruction. Or maybe they're throwing additional things up into the air to distract us from UFOs that are flying around or something. We really don't know what they're doing here, but they're clearly nefarious, although I've got a video scheduled to go ahead and play next where we've got New Jersey Governor Philip Murphy addressing the public on this one. He's got a lot of good stuff to say. The jury's out for me. The whole topic of it potentially being from the United States government, not being done as a psyop to go ahead and scare the American people, that makes absolutely no sense. But actually giving it a reason behind it, if you look at where the drones are coming from, they're coming from the water, not out of the water, but from the area of the water. That would mean that they're coming from the Navy. Now, those X-P4 drones that we showed, we've had on title cards, I've had on Biden's head recently in a picture today, those are actually developed for the Navy. So it kind of aligns with the morphology of the craft, the behavior characteristics, what they're capable of. Now, the X-P4s are capable of about an hour running time, but they're bigger ones that they have. The XP5s and XP7s can run from anywhere from 7 to 10 hours respectively. So It aligns to our military doing these operations, and I think honestly our government is just not being truthful with us because,
I agree.
As far as President Trump has said, the White House knows what's going on, the DOD knows what's going on, and I tend to, hate to say it, believe the future president more than our current commander-in-chief.
Yeah, let's hope he gets in the seat, though. Let's hope he gets in there. With everything that's going
let's
on.
hope there isn't going to be any kind of Christmas surprise or Inauguration Day surprise of something going kablooey along the way.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Or a drone surprise.
Yeah, true. We never know what it's going to be and what it's going to turn into. Go ahead and look. Okay, all right. So in my next clip I've got going here, would you look at that? We got a super chat before we get there coming in from Brian Pemble. Guaranteed we have game plan and think tanked this out all possible decision tree solutions. It would be naive to think otherwise, and I have to agree that. And just remember, friends, when we get a super chat here on Disclosure tonight, I am, where's the music? I haven't played it lately. All right, we got a super chat from Brian Pemble. Thank you very much, Brian. Remember, every dollar that comes into Disclosure tonight, it goes back into our production fund. It's been a slow year this year so far, but December has been a banner month. Yeah, because why? I've been doing it 7 days a week without a break, live broadcast, and I'm going to keep it going until we figure out what these things were. Did I just say that? I think I did. I may take a day off here and there because I may need a break, just saying. But you know what? We will figure this out as a community. We'll figure it out together, my friends, I promise. On that note, let me go ahead and turn that off, and then let me go ahead and shut that down. And I've promised I've got a video here coming. You know what? Before we get to this, I do have a short clip coming of Logan. What is Logan's last name again, Mike?
Logan is his last name. His first name is Lenville. Lenville Logan.
Lenville Logan. I've got a short clip of him. Lenville Logan was on a live stream today, actually from a Twitter. Thank you very much, CBUSMC. On a live stream today that was actually a Twitter AMA. Ask Me Anything. He was on there along with James Fox, who has the new documentary out there called The Program. Kirk McConnell. Wasn't Kirk McConnell in the Senate for a long time, Mike, as a staffer?
He was. 36 years, I believe.
Talk about a record. Holy cow, and he kept his sanity. That's amazing.
He did.
Let's go ahead and play this short clip from him. We'll have more clips from these guys tomorrow. Actually, I've got a little bit longer one, but we're going to have to pause in between. So let me just play this short one first, and then we'll try and pick up the other one if we have more time. Here we go, folks. Actually, we'll probably cover those a little bit tomorrow. Should be more of a UFO day tomorrow, hopefully, unless something magical happens. Here we go, folks.
It was probably one of the best.
Okay, really quick. Lenville Logan was a member of the UAP task force. He worked there alongside of back in the day. This is during the Trump administration, just for the record. Not only was it during the Trump administration, that's when David Grush was there, part of the UAP task force as well. So let's play this little clip here. We'll talk about it and see if we can find some more things. And then, we got another thing. Nancy Kuzmano says, Thomas Fessler, this could go on for God knows how long. You guys should take a break. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, yes? We'll see. I am actually off of work now until January 6th. So it's not like I'm working 2 days. Working 2 jobs now. I'll be able to relax a little bit and have a good time getting content together rather than being so rushed, my friends. Yes, I have a lot of vacation time I haven't taken yet this year, and I am going to use it. So let me, without further ado, let me go ahead and play this clip of Lenville Logan talking about his time at the UAPTF. I guess we kind of call him a whistleblower because he's someone who was there. He hasn't come forward yet. He was on the inside, and he's given us some details. Let's get to it. I'm excited.
It was probably one of the best assignments.
Hold on. It would help, Mike, if I showed the video. Here we go.
It was probably one of the best assignments. It is the best assignment I had. I had the director of the task force was probably the best non-boss I've ever had because he pretty much told us, lean forward, go find out what's out there. If you have any problems, bring it back to me and we'll figure it out. So I pretty much knew, I could go this far left, this far right, but stick to the project and let's get some questions answered and then bring it back. So we had lots of data to go through. And like you said, there's a lot of fakes out there, people that are providing, I think there's even an app now that you can fake a UFO sighting. So we had a lot of data to go through. And then there's the testimonies to go through. And the other side of it is that a lot of the people that we talked to they were confused as to why are we talking about this now, especially people in the military. They're like, we don't talk about this. And I was like, hey, there's a process now for you to talk about this. And I remember a couple of guys like, we don't believe you. And then they came back later and were like, we want to know more. And I was like, well, do you have something to say? And they're like, yes, but no, we'll talk to you, but we won't put anything down on paper. And we'll take a wait and see approach to see how this all works out. So I'll kind of
leave it at that. But, interesting conversation. There's a lot to say. I am just going to go ahead and play this safely because for the main reason that, yeah, there's a channel, there's a YouTube channel out there for Redditors, and I don't want to go ahead and step on them and get in trouble. On that note, I think I've got an old television set here I can possibly bring up to go ahead and show this conversation. We bring that there, hit the start, and let's see if I can go ahead and play a little bit more of this video. Yes, it looks like an old television set for a reason, my friends. Here we go.
But the general populace, they're probably going to see it as well from a totally different point of view and see something totally unusual that the military did not capture. Okay? And so it's that whole of effect approach that we need to be able to sit there and say, we know if it's a triangle, it does X, Y, Z, does this, does that, whatever. But if it's this, it does these other things, and have a whole approach instead of trying to engage on something where we only have part of the information.
Great answer. Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to kick it over to James, who has a question for you.
Hey, thanks so much, Logan. So great to hear you talk here. One of the
Let me pause this for a second just so we can keep it within fair use. Interesting to hear this conversation coming from Lenville Logan. He used to be a part of the UAPTF. We'll play one more question and we'll cover the rest of this going tomorrow, I promise. Here we go.
In my humble opinion, best photographs of a UAP ever taken was the Calvine 1990, referred commonly as the Calvine incident, the Calvine UFO or a UAP. And I thank you to David Clark and former RAF press officer Craig Lindsay, and Nick Pope, stuck my teeth into that case. And when I was sharing some of the details with you, you kind of blew my mind as to being potentially a witness. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yes. So in January 1990, I was assigned to go to my first intel unit overseas, going to Europe. And the exercise that normally would take place back then, anybody in the military that's been in since the 80s and the 90s would know the term Reforger. Stands for Return of Forces Back to Germany, because we always thought we were going to fight in the Fulda Gap against Russian forces. And what was funny was...
a lot of good, interesting conversation coming out of Lenville. I want to go ahead and make sure we're targeting it down to the greatest questions we could have here. There's also part of this, a lot of great questions coming in from Kirk McConnell. Let's see if we can play one of those questions here really quick, and I promise we'll cover the rest tomorrow. Let's see, I think there's a question
Position where you're in these meetings with these committees and various contractors.
Well, as you noted, Kelly, I spent 37 years on the Hill. I retired this past February, but when I retired, I was serving on the Senate Armed Services Committee, and we ended up getting involved, the staff did, in investigating the UAP phenomenon. And, just sort of grew. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but that's the essence of it. I spent a long time on the Hill. I'm a congressional.
So talking about his stuff, let me just jump a little bit further into this video after the next question. Let's see if there's anything that we can jump into.
Accounts of this, certainly back at the beginning when it all started. But, if we date the era of the UAP interest and activities on the part of the United States government to the mid, to late 40s, you just have to think back. Orson Welles' War of the Worlds, the panic that ensued from that happened in 1938.
Yeah.
That's like yesterday, if you go back to the late.
But they're still scared of it, and they're still scared about bringing out the truth because potentially of how the public was duped by Orson Welles. My God, Mike, do you think that is still a legitimate concern that the American people can handle the truth? I honestly think they can. What do you think?
Well, no, I feel that they can, just like Lou does. He stated that publicly, that the public can absolutely handle the truth.
Yeah.
But I remember the Orson Welles flap when that went out over the radio.
You're not that old.
No, I'm not. But I remember the effect of when that had occurred. And the public sometimes does panic, and they do overreact. And it's funny because when that had happened, it was fictional. There was nothing that anybody saw. And in rural areas on farms, they were taking shotguns and shooting at grain silos because they thought it was a flying saucer. The problem with this nowadays is these drones overhead are real and you can see them. That means that people panic and are scared, they have something to shoot at. This is why the government should have come out and made whatever it is that they know public so that people are not going to panic. But they're choosing for some reason not to do that. So that's why I said this could be an issue.
Yeah.
They're not going to panic, but people, if they don't know what the hell
I
it
think
is.
what will happen is, like with drones, people will come out, there'll be a big interest in it on Friday, but by the time we get to Monday or next Monday, everyone will be back to normal, just kind of going about their usual stuff, and the media is going to die down, potentially, and the interest is going to die down. So I don't think, considering all the things that could go wrong in the world today, I don't think this is actually going to go ahead and turn the sands of time in a way that just paralyzes the markets, paralyzes our country. People aren't going to go to work. They're going to be shooting down things in the sky. No, we've already proved what's going on with the drone situation, that they're not going to be shooting down the things in the sky.
No, they made that announcement publicly, but you and I talked about this before the show. I don't believe that they're going to actually be shooting anything down.
No, not at all.
Civilian or unknown.
Absolutely.
Right.
As we continue on, let me go ahead. I did say I was going to play this clip. We do have a clip here of Ask Governor Murphy on Power and Politics coming us from New Jersey's local television station. Let's go ahead and play this little bit lengthy clip of someone from government going and telling us there's nothing to worry about the sky, about what's in the sky. And yes, Jay Hardesty, Jason Sands has our backs. He is out there killing aliens, right, Mike? To protect us all. Or at least he was. All right, here we go. Mike was selling on that one conveniently. Here we go.
The information and answers that have been given have not been adequate for most people.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon unlike almost anything I've had to deal with. Let me just give the punchline. I want to be crystal clear about this. I said this in a press conference on Monday, and I want to repeat it today. And now we could say this based on the most sophisticated drone detection systems on the planet that started to arrive in New Jersey last Friday and Saturday. There is no public threat here, period. I could say that unequivocally. Now, the FAA today, I guess out of an abundance of caution, said no drones flying over any critical infrastructure.
We actually have a map that we can put up right now, Governor. It's 22 towns. Yep.
I just got off the phone twice with the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security for America, Ali Mayorkas. This is out of an abundance of caution. In fact, they were asked to do this. Remember, there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of drones that are up in the air every day, that are commercial, that are hobby, that may be law enforcement, maybe military, and that includes in New Jersey. And I might also say, a month ago, there may have been suspicious activity. We did not have those sophisticated systems that we now have had for the past week, so I can have a level of certainty. And you've seen other states have this phenomenon in the past. Parts of, I won't get into the states because it's somewhat classified, but one state in particular, a year ago and 2 years ago, each had some suspicious, unexplained drone activity. It came and went. Might we have had that same activity a month ago? It's possible. We probably will never know because we did not have those sophisticated systems. But we do know now. I have a very, very, very high degree of confidence. Are we going to stay at it? You betcha. This has been 24/7. You never say never. Most of those sophisticated systems remain in New Jersey. But I want folks to know you should take a breath and know that you are safe. The part that should worry everybody out there is the vulnerability that we as a nation have to drone incursions.
That's certainly something Chris Smith was talking about, the congressman on the show last week.
It's a big issue. So we've got federal authority with this continuing resolution in Washington that theoretically could expire tomorrow. And then there's a bipartisan bill by Senators Peters and Johnson that would give states an enormous amount more authority. Right now, this is a federal game. They own the airspace. They have the sophisticated equipment. Colonel Pat Callahan's done a great job with the state police, but there's only so much they can do. The bigger takeaway here, and by the way, Eric, this is a benign wake-up call. Think of the tragic wake-up call that we got on 9/11 in terms of our defenses as a nation.
Right, but you got to remember, when we're talking about 9/11, Pearl Harbor combined, that is exactly what Lou Elizondo has said, where our federal government has got us into the issue with regards to the cover-up on UFOs. And the cover-up we're getting right now on drones is right in the same bucket, my friends. They're lying, they're covering it up, they're not telling us the truth. They know what's going on. Now we've got some of the government kind of trying to placate us about what's going on. But, yeah, let's continue.
Thank God on this, in the lives lost by the thousands. Thank God on this, nobody's gotten hurt here. Nobody's gotten injured. Nobody's, thank God, passed. But we as a nation are vulnerable. We must address that. We must address it sooner than later in New Jersey.
Right, because, again, let me interject on this one. On the East Coast, the situation over the Republic, we've got a lot of drones being seen violating the airspace over our average citizens' houses. But what we have going over in the Midwest, on the West Coast, over a lot of our military bases, what we're seeing are drones coming in, not necessarily drones, but more likely UAP invading our airspace because they're getting more and more brazen, because the truth of the matter is we've never had domain over the skies of the United States. It's always been controlled by another force. Only as we have gotten greater technology are we trying to control it. But the truth of the matter is we don't rule the planet. We're only on the surface. And there is a greater force here that's trying to go ahead and potentially make their presence more and more known, especially to the existing administration. Let me continue.
Jersey's not immune.
Governor, I want to talk about what you said about the FAA temporary ban. You're saying this was taken out of an abundance of caution. They cited special security concerns. So why not just say we're doing this out of an abundance of caution? Because just by saying special security concerns,
it because I'm full of shit.
Almost seems to contradict in some ways and leave it too much open to interpretation.
So the first reaction I had was, first of all, it took the feds too long to say anything. Then they started saying, which is the truth, that there's no public safety threat. This, I have to say, gives you the impression that there isn't but. That's why I called Ali Mayorkas, and I said, I need to know, is there anything that's happened here?
He's relying on Alejandro Mayorkas. You know what? I have to go ahead and do this. Do I have the sound effect? Let me get here. Where is that at? Let me look for the word flush. Oh, wrong place. Search for the word flush. Here we go. No, not that one. Nope, not that one. That's the one we're all used to. Yes, yes, yes. We've got a good flushing sound to go ahead and take this poor person who's in government power and flush them out of the way from all of us, my friends. Yes, sometimes we listen to these bullshit artists. Oh, yes. What kind of bullshit artists are we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
Yes, Mike. You know where I'm coming from on this one.
Oh, I do.
It just got too thick and deep, and no matter how much bailing we did, we could not get the shit out of here fast enough. So we had to press that magic button to get rid of them. Thank God.
Yeah,
I don't think our audience actually approves it.
Yeah, it's what you and I were talking about earlier. They are trying to put the message out to the public, not to panic.
Yeah.
And they're saying there's no threat, nothing has happened, nobody has died. They're using this equipment that they've now installed in the state of New Jersey that will take drones down. But what they're not saying, and what Ross Coulthard has reported on numerous times already, those anti-drone systems that they have don't seem to have any effect on these mysterious drones.
It's almost like the drone systems are programmed not to go ahead and shoot down our own drones, Mike.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Could be.
You never know. Well, if you look at in the back, we've got Brian Pemble with his hand up. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing great. You've got drones and orbs, and let's throw some stuff up from local law enforcement. We'll tell the people some bullshit. This guy's full of it. I'm sorry for cussing here, but he's now changed tune, which means he's been briefed or he's been pushed or what have you. You're going to get primaried if you keep pushing these narratives. And so, Governor Murphy, this is a bunch of crap. I'm sorry. I mean, I think everybody can see this. You're not telling the people what it is. You're telling the people everything's fine, no big deal. It's going to die down. Come on. The people are done with this stuff. They're just done with it.
Yeah.
If you were running training exercises, run them in Nevada, run them over hundreds of miles of a desert area and everything else. Don't run them over people's houses and highly populated areas. Sorry, I'm trying to use some choice words here. But don't tell me it's raining.
No.
Okay, when it's not. And I think that people can smell this now. And I think
I think what we're dealing with is a bunch of Pop-Tarts. Just to go ahead and people know when we're talking about Pop-Tarts, those are fucktards, my friends. Just saying. It's just a nice. We're dealing with a bunch of Pop-Tarts, aren't we, Brian?
100%. And social media is exposing this. I mean, the people are a lot smarter than they've ever been given credit for. And I got to give kudos to the people on social media, people like on your show, Thomas, and in the audience and everything else. They can smell BS from a mile away. They can smell the Pop-Tart, when it's coming for breakfast. They know these people. So they're not going to be able to get away with it for much longer, in my opinion. So
no, not at all, my friend. Thank you.
That's my soapbox.
Get back on that soapbox as many times as you want. Thank you for coming in tonight, Brian. Well, would you look at that? Our creepy friend, Kron, has his hand up again. Go ahead, Kron. Kron, you have your hand up.
Is on, Kron.
You're muted.
Sorry. Very quickly about the governor. I find it very interesting how he says, oh, we're safe. But the biggest vulnerability is drones. So how can you be safe and have the biggest vulnerability? It's a very strange paradox to tell the American people that you're so safe, but we have a gigantic vulnerability to a massive drone attack.
Well, we have a vulnerability to drones, it seems. We have a vulnerability to UAP. We have a lot of vulnerabilities over our homeland that our military likes to go ahead and say, oh, there's no risk here. There's no security issue. But everyone else who's outside of the government is saying, yes, we have a national security issue going on here, and they can't believe what they're hearing from the government. Do you think we have a national security issue going on here, Kron?
Oh, it's very clear, very apparent, and the denial is very interesting as well. It's like it's how far can we go with our denial before Now the other thing I found interesting about his testimony was he stated, it's classified, but there were incursions years ago, and we've been hearing about these incursions, but it just doesn't add up how you can say one thing. We know the facts of the other. How do you lie on TV? It's very strange to me.
Well, a lot of people like John Kirby, who's from the White House, and people from the DOD, they have a script of what they have to talk about, and that's what their job is. They have to stick to the script. They have to stick to the dialogue, and they'll say, well, I don't know that information or different stuff to a degree, but literally we have people, it's kind of like the Hunger Games. You have that representative from the government who wants to come out there and tell everything how wonderful and how great it is. That's the same kind of bullshit our government has been dealing to our people throughout this issue, and also throughout the UAP issue, going back too many years to count. It's like they think we're mushrooms, and all we have to do is just be kept in the dark and be fed nothing but bullshit. Brian.
Exactly right, Thomas. And that's what they're doing, is they're reading a script, and now Governor Murphy is on the script. Just as a side note, whether you're a Republican or Democrat or anything else, let me throw a new script out there for you.
But you know what? I know you say we call people are Democrats, Republicans, or something else. The truth of the matter is we're all American citizens, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Let's just talk about our citizenship here.
Yeah, so American citizens, let's just throw a new script out there from our politique. How about that?
Yeah, I love it.
How about, look, we don't have to tell you how to make a nuclear bomb. We don't have to tell you how these drones are made or anything else. Why don't we just tell you? Some of these are ours, some of them are not.
Yeah.
I think the people can handle that. And I think you put that up in a poll the other night. It's not that hard. I think that people will respect you when you're honest. When it comes from the heart and you're honest, and you can say, look, some of these are ours, some of them are not. I can't tell you how they're made or what they do or anything else like that. I mean, I can tell you from my drone contacts, they don't want to tell me if they're flying them or not. Yeah. I mean, these are high-level people that I get stuff from. And so, it's just annoying.
So the video clip we saw from the guy in the Army, a lot of fluff and other stuff in there, but do you think below that and everything, do you think there's some truth to what he was saying it's us, we're putting him up every night?
I felt like that gentleman looked honest to me. And I say my bullshit meter is at 90%. I can usually tell when somebody's lying to me at 90%. That's why when I hear the governor talk right now, he's obviously been co-opted. Yeah. I mean, that's dead obvious to most people.
Yeah.
But I think honesty and forthrightness, I think the people can agree with that. We don't have to tell China everything, but to think that China or Russia or everything else don't think that we have advanced drone programs, I can name 10 companies off the top of my head that have amazing drone programs, EMP programs, stuff like that. Yeah. So I just think it's very naive of us. The script does not have to be written this way.
No, it doesn't. It does not. Now to go ahead and go to one of our common men in the back, a man who is coming to us from his recliner. Thank God, I am so jealous. Ed Brown, go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, we were talking earlier about Mayorkas being the spokesperson for this thing, the governor believing him. Wasn't Mayorkas the guy that told us the border was secure?
Yeah.
We were across town, the border was secure. So I don't think it's too trustworthy. Can I throw a grenade in here for a second? I'm going to throw a grenade in this whole discussion and see what you think about this. What's the possibility that this whole thing's going to change in a week or so and the government's going to start saying it is dangerous and we're going to declare martial law? You see that possible coming up?
Only if it was a major catastrophic event. If lives were lost, people were injured, then they might go in that direction. But they keep pushing the narrative right now. Nobody's been hurt. Nobody's died.
Right.
So they're trying to keep the public from panicking.
It's kind of like, Mike, if I could add into this, they're focusing on the drones in the air, not potentially the risk that's already on the ground. They're saying the drones are safe. Don't worry about that. There's no security risk. There's no danger from the drones. It's all okay. But they never address potentially what the drones could be doing and what they could be looking for, right?
Or what they're capable of. And everything is okay with the drones up until the point when it isn't. And if that's the case, we won't be prepared because they're not telling us anything.
No. They're taking care of us like we're mushrooms. Kron, you have your hand up again. Go ahead, my friend.
Yes, just throwing this in quickly. One fear that I have is this narrative of downing drones. Let's say they down a drone, but what if that drone has a payload and you don't know what's in that payload? That is a big concern, and I'm sure it's a big concern that's being discussed right now.
Right, because the drones initially were seen hovering over the water reservoirs for the whole tri-state area. What happens if they have some kind of biological or nuclear or any kind of a nuclear kind of a radioactive material that's on there and it goes down in it? That's what we've been bringing up, and I thank you for bringing that up, Kron, because that's the truth. What if there was something on these drones? They are nefarious. They are from a nation state like China or Russia or Iran or whoever, and who knows what's on these things? Because remember, they had what was the bulletin that was put out to first responders in New Jersey saying if you see anything, call the bomb squad, stay along, set up a perimeter around it, keep it safe, almost sounding like there could potentially be risks from what could be on these drones, either from a payload or from their energy source.
Highly correct and very scary.
Well, the thing is, be alert. Don't be afraid. It could be scary, but just don't be afraid, because when you're afraid, for anyone who's watching this podcast, the way you want to look at it is if you're afraid, you're not going to be making the right decisions. You're going to be making them out of fear. But if you stay cool, you stay within the reality of what you're dealing with, you're going to make a lot better decisions and keep yourself and your family safer. Brian, you have your hand up, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And part of the problem is, and I'm not trying to talk about the women here, but it's almost like a Stockholm or a battered wife syndrome that we've been lied to by these people so many times. There's some people that are going to believe them, that are going to fall into that syndrome. But there's a lot of us too now that you can lie to me 9 out of 10 times. I'm not going to believe you now. And I think a lot of people are on that boat. That had you have earned my trust earlier on, or had you have earned your constituents and voters' trust, that we would be more adept to believe what you're saying. And that's just not been the case. And by the way, on the water reservoir, I sent Mike an article, and you don't have to put it in there, but some of the New Jersey residents are tasting some odd things in the water.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything.
You see something, you taste something, you say something.
Yeah. Yep, exactly right.
Yeah. Now, in a story I have, you hear about all things crazy. The first thing you say, what state is it from? Florida. Oh, yeah, it makes sense. 5 months ago, we had a resident of Florida setting the benchmark of how to deal with drones. I only was able to find a quick 27-second clip, but you got to give it to this resident of Florida, 72 years old, and he deserves all the praise on this one. Here we go, folks. Let's go ahead and play this one. Coming to from Lake County, Florida.
Now they say I hit it, so I must be a good shot.
In Lake County, this man is accused of shooting down a Walmart delivery drone. Dennis Wynn told police he thought the drone was spying on him. So he ran inside and grabbed his pistol and took one shot at the drone. He was taken to jail and has since been released on bond. He's charged with criminal mischief and firing a gun in public.
Mike, one shot.
Now they say I hit it.
Took down a drone. How about that? He's a good shot.
Is But it was probably a small drone.
It was a small drone, but still a small drone, and shooting it down with one shot from his pistol. That guy's a freaking hero, because you know how many drones have been flying over the East Coast and no one shot one down? One shot, 72 years old, without a sight, from a pistol. Poof.
Right, that takes practice. But here's the thing. If it's a Walmart delivery drone, this thing wasn't 2,000 feet in the air.
No,
It
but
was
the drones we're
landing in
seeing
front of his
now
house.
are from 400 feet or less. So just saying, good for him.
Well, the point I'm making is that if it was delivering a package from Walmart, it probably was hovering off the ground right in front of him.
Well, it
So he had
wasn't
his
for his
pistol,
house. It was
and
for
he
somebody
shot it.
else's house. It was flying over his place. He thought they were fucking spying on me. I love it.
20
I love it,
feet?
my friend.
20 feet is not a big deal to have a handgun and hit something. So he did that, and it was not a big deal.
Oh,
It's not
I
like he
know,
shot one of these things out of the sky.
Yeah, I know, Mike. I'm just looking at this great guy and just saying, you are a legend in his own time, my friends. I mean, just come on. I guess this is the picture here, going ahead and bringing up the audience is going along with it. There he is. That's his mugshot. They actually took him away in handcuffs. That wasn't nice.
No, that wasn't right at all. He did something, and they didn't, and they shouldn't punish him for that.
Oh, but they did, because granted, it is Florida of all places, so.
Yeah, stand your ground.
Oh,
He
you
didn't want
better
to
believe
be threatened by a Walmart drone.
Susan Ford, you have your hand up, my dear lady?
Susan says sarcastically, maybe Biden will pardon him.
I don't think he got along. You know what? They could even if they commuted a sentence, and I did put it in the chat. Commuting a sentence means you're still have it on your record, but the amount of time of your charges that were in there, it's actually reduced. So it does remain on your record. However, we're letting it's a get out of jail free card. Yeah. All right, Mike. I think we've gone through a majority of our stuff here tonight. What's going on? Is it that one? I've covered that one. Yes, we have. Eric, you're new to the back. You have your hand up. Go ahead, Eric. Eric Neely, you need to take yourself off of mute. You're muted still. There you go.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem, my friend.
I was watching something earlier today.
Yeah.
And it was on Stephen Greer.
Yeah.
Stephen Greer just dropped something on the fly on the wall. Can I share it in the chat?
No, actually, no. We already did play that clip, Eric, and you just have to take whatever Stephen Greer says with a grain of salt and just how do you put it? He doesn't come from a great level of credibility. Just saying. And if you're listening to Stephen Greer and believing what he says, step it aside and look to some people like Lou Elizondo and others.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, not a problem. You know, Stephen Greer 10 years ago, 15 years ago, he was the guy you could look to. But as time has gone on, his bank account has got as bigger, his appetite for money has gotten bigger, and his credibility, unfortunately, has been dropping over time. All right. Mike, on that note, I think, is there anything we haven't covered here yet today?
No, for the Friday night show, I think we went over all the content and the conversation. We went the full 2 hours, so we're good.
We went for the full 2 hours, a smaller audience tonight, only about 1,300 people hanging out during the broadcast today, maybe a little bit bigger earlier during the show. But you know what? They've been hanging around watching, and I think we've got a regular great audience here that's taken us from where we were before, and I am so humbled and thankful for everybody hanging out, watching the show. Hopefully you've been having a good time. I am thankful for you guys to be here, and it's like, you know what? We'll be back again tomorrow for our Saturday recap of the events that have happened over the last week. Right, Mike?
And also for our international audience, because we're going to be at, 10 p.m. UK time?
Yeah, 2 p.m. Pacific. But you know what? That was our biggest show last week, believe it or not. I don't think we're going to be hitting those numbers again because I think right now we've kind of hit drone saturation or oversaturation with the people out there, my friends. On that note, I want to go ahead.
Unless there's a new development, then we'll be right on it.
You better believe it, my friend. On that note, my friends, I want to go ahead and thank everybody for your wonderful... Actually, I missed a super chat here. Actually, let me just go ahead and do this all at once. I want to thank everybody for your wonderful super chats here on Disclosure tonight. Last one coming in from JCat. Thank you very much, JCat. I appreciate your love and support of everything. Appreciate you and Thomas and Mike for all you're doing. Love to the DT family. Faiswell, another longtime supporter of Disclosure tonight. Lord McCormick, he's new from the United Kingdom. Hopefully, I think he'll be back here tomorrow. Nancy Guzmano. Be smart, be kind. Merry Christmas to everybody. Oh, you said the Merry Christmas thing, so I actually get to go ahead and play the one. I'm actually going to have to watch this tonight with Gary, or Ack in the back tonight. It's Holiday Inn. Great movie, great holidays, great place to be there, my friends. Also, as I had this going. Also want to thank JCat. Appreciate the super chat. Faze Will, Lord McCormick, CBUSMC, Brian Pemble, Mr. Catfish 2100, and Donna Fitzpatrick. Thank you very much for wonderful super chats here tonight. Holy cow, thank you very much. But it's not just about the people who give us super chats. A lot of times it's about our friends who have been in the chat, our regular viewers, the people who are there bringing things up. Who am I talking about? I want to thank AK, Ack, our former producer in the back. Let's thank Alex Lewis, Andy W, Anton Ghost, Avi M, all the way from India. Good to see Avi. But Avi, why do all your videos have to be like squeezed down, like you're on one of those old TV sets that stretch it out? Just asking. I love your videos on Twitter, by the way. Also, Bear Holiday, Beyond Rocket Science. Brian Pemble's been here along with Cindy. Country Carpenter. We got Corporal Abe, Deborah Manley Walters, Donna Fitzpatrick, Drift Speed. Eric Roth and the Gurus has been here. Dan Larev just popped up as I'm scrolling up the screen. I want to thank Ernie Tetralt, Ethan X. We got F2 Twister. I'd rather have an F4 or F5, my friend. Let's thank Fink Floyd, Firefly, Ghost Fixer, Great Awakening, oh my God. Holsey 0815. We got Howling Husky. He's sleeping around here somewhere. Let's thank Heiser Soze. I am Kron has been here. Thank you, Kron, for coming in tonight. And all your great questions during the broadcast. JCat, Jer Bear, John Mooner, John Smith, John Pilgrim, Johnny UFOs. The Johns are ruling the chat tonight, my friends. We got Kathy, Kelly Broughton, her piercing blue eyes, Coffee Cat, Lang Lee, Light Doc, Lynn 60. We got M. Graffizi, Mark Silto, Marcus and the Mandels, Marvin Martian. Mary's been here. Good to see you, Mary. Megan Betts, Mellow Fresh, Michael Lynn, Mike Paul. Mish has been here. Good to see you, Mish. Long time no see. It's been a long time, Mish. You know what I'm talking about. Moon Pie has been around, along with Mr. Catfish 2100, if I can say it. Yerp. Let's thank Nancy Kuzmano, Niambi, Non-Human Intelligence, Pam Wee Chede. We also have Paul Cabazola, Q Essence, Rabbit Leader 230. We had Rainstorm Hunter, Robert De Niro 913 through 816. We also had Rude Panda, Rough Ready, See You, Shelby Montgomery. We had Shermanator Osborne, our resident Asiantologist. Shermanator, do us a favor. Share a link to our chat sometime on Twitter. Yes, I do follow you on X. I would love to see you promote us as well. Solaris 142. We had Sprightly Sprites, Gemstone, Crystal, Mineral Magic. I'm going to have to check out your channel, my friend. Stephen Forbes has been here along with Steve G, Tira Ua2, Tamisha Bertrand, all the way from Squim. We had Tape Fiend. We had This Suck Has to Stop. Oh, yeah, it does, my friend. But that could be a good thing. Tim Tracy's been here along with Troy. Tiberius. UFOs, Not Drones has also been here, along with Vic Vancouver, Warren, and Carissa Rowe. Great to see the couple out here hanging out watching our show. We had the What the UFO Wingman 777, Woodrow Smith, Yankee 58. We had Yergi and Dead Fish Cheese Spread. While the chat's a little bit smaller, it's easier to deal with. But it's sometimes, my friends, it's not just about the chat. Sometimes it's about our friends in the back. Who am I talking about? Oh, let's go ahead and thank Andy W. Thanks for coming out today, my friend.
Cheers, Thomas. It's been a heavy week and a busy week for you, but yeah, we'll do it all again for tomorrow night.
At least I've gone back to plaid, so that's a good
back
thing.
to plaid.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God. Also,
I'm back to black.
And I'll go back to blue tomorrow, my friend. Brian Pemble, thanks for coming out, my friend.
Yeah, you always go to plaid for winter, Thomas, but I want to remind everybody that they're always welcome in the back chat. The link is at the top of the chat.
We
But
are
I want every-
We are the
Go ahead.
only long-term serial UFO disclosure broadcast that actually has an open link to join our back conversation on a regular basis. Thank you for reminding. Tomorrow's show, you have something to say, you want to say, do you have a comment? Follow that link. Don't be afraid. Just type in your name ahead of time. You can even come in an incognito account like Lou did the other day and type in your name before you come in. Right, Brian?
Correct. To jump in, we may ask you to put on your camera for about 5 seconds so we know who you are. But then that's it. Then you can turn your camera off and talk. That's all that we ask, but anybody can jump in.
Absolutely.
And
Also,
sometimes the back chat's where it's at.
you better believe it, because the back chat can go on for 5, 6, 10 hours after the show is over. So if you're interested in continuing the conversation, what the live stream was over, yeah, come on, join Brian, Ed, myself, and everybody else. I may be there for a little bit, but I will usually check out because the day starts early. But thank you for that reminder, Brian. I appreciate that. Also want to go ahead and thank Corporal Abe. Thanks for coming in, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me, Thomas, Mike, Disclosure Tonight community. Happy holidays. I want to piggyback off of what Brian said. Come to the back chat. I was there last night until the sun went down here in Asia. So
wow.
Come to the back chat. I love you guys. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Also want to thank Ed Brown. Thank you for coming in tonight and spending your important recliner time with us.
It's been a great show, Thomas. I really appreciate it. Thanks to you and Mike for putting this on.
Thank you. Absolutely. Also want to thank Kron. Thanks for your questions, my friend.
Thank you, Thomas. Disclosure Tonight, the greatest show in the galaxy.
Thank you, sir. Laura Campbell, thanks for coming out.
It's always going to be fun going to this show.
You better
More
believe
people
it.
should be watching. They're missing out.
Oh, I absolutely. Also want to thank, let's see, Tia Maria. Thanks for coming out, my friend. But maybe not. But none of your business, Susan Ford. Appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. What a great show. You always bring it, Thomas. You always bring it.
Thank you very much. And I have to say, Mike, Disclosure, thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
coming out and being part of this broadcast as usual. Thank you for working with me.
always.
Thank you for working with this crazy son of a bitch behind the scenes.
Oh, listen, we're on the same page, even with things like that. So don't worry, it's fine. We get through it as always, and it's
Yeah.
fun. The audience had fun. We had fun. It was a good conversation. We had a lot to cover, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
And in
Looking
the words
forward
of
to it.
ack, as we usually say at the end of every broadcast of Disclosure Tonight, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everyone. But
Go back to Party City where you belong.
absolutely, we'll catch you on the flip side. See you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. London time. Take care, everybody. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.